Hey guys, Karen with Curl House. I'm a licensed cosmetologist and a certified trichologist. And today I'm going to show you how you can trim your own hair. So this is like the most requested video that I get from my YouTube community, and I hear you, I got you, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So the first thing you need to know is my hair is blow dried straight. You do not have to trim your ends straight in general. Sometimes you can get it trimmed curly, but because I'm showing you how to do it, I think it's easier if you do it straight because you can see the ends more. And then secondly, your hair does not have to be flat ironed. It's just blow dried straight. Now, for those of you who just simply don't want to put a lot of heat to your hair, that's fine. I get it. You can wash and condition your hair the night before, put your hair in big chunky twists, let those twists air dry overnight, and then the next day you can take your handheld dryer on a cool setting and stretch the hair out. That way you can minimize some of that heat. Okay, let's get started. The very first thing that you need is a good pair of shears. Now, when I say a good pair of shears, I need you to go and buy some shears from maybe like the local beauty supply or from Sally's. Do not use your shears that you use to cut chicken or the ones that you use to cut fabric like me. I cut my necks out of my shirt. No, I don't want to use those shears. Don't get shears out of your child's crayon box. No, get a pair of shears that's specifically set aside for your trim, because you can end up doing more damage than good if you just get a pair of shears that you use to cut everything. So get yourself a pair of shears. It doesn't have to be the most expensive shears like the ones that most stylists use, but just get some sharp shears that you are going to use specifically for your trim. Okay, so let us roll. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to put a section right up in here in the top. Okay. Get yourself some clips and clip it off. Then we're going to put two sections on either side, right at the top of the ear. Clip it off. You're going to do the same thing on the other side, top of the ear. Okay, we got that clipped off. Now for the back of your hair, I want you to put a part straight down the middle. Doesn't have to be even, but let me show you what it looks like. So put a part straight down the middle of your head. One side, take that hair, okay? Put that in a twist. You gotta do the other side. Now, do one side on the left, one side on the back. Now, let me tell you a little bit about my hair. I deal with a hair loss disorder called female pattern hair loss. It's a genetic type of hair loss where the hair in the top of my hair grows slower and it gets thinner. But genetic hair loss is not necessarily curable, but it is manageable. So this hair in the top is just not as thick as everything else, as everywhere else. I just wanted you to be mindful of that, because when I trim it, I don't trim off as much because it grows slower. Okay, so we're going to take this entire section in the front. I want you to bring it straight up. I'm out of the frame, so let me come back. Okay. You're going to take the hair straight up like this. Now, I'm getting closer so that you can see what needs to be trimmed. Can you see the very, very tip of my hair right in here? That's what needs to be trimmed. General rule of thumb, when you pull your hair straight up, you will be able to see through those ends. So you'll be able to look at the hair and see what really needs to be trimmed. The hair closest to the scalp and upward is going to be darker and thicker. And then right toward the ends, they get more frayed and you can see through them. Here's a picture of what split ends actually look like. Now, this is not my hair, but I wanted you to see how much needs to be trimmed because I don't think you can see mine very much. You're going to take your hair straight up. And again, look through those ends and see what needs to be trimmed. All right. With my hair, it's not a lot in here. Again, because this is the hair that grows slower, so I don't trim off as much anyway. But you take your shears, you're going to hold your hair taut. Now, when you're in your mirror, this is going to be much easier. Okay, but hold your hair straight up. Your hair should be in between your index and your middle finger. When you're holding it straight up taut like this, you're going to take your scissors and you're going to trim. Now, do not trim past your knuckle. So in other words, when you're trimming, don't trim, you're starting toward the end of your finger, don't trim back in here. Because if you start to try to trim hair past your knuckle, you will cut yourself. I have done it countless times. Don't trim past your knuckle. All right, so let's do it. Let's take it. And I'm going to come in closer just so that you can see it. Okay, y'all bear with me. Okay, that was just a little bit. Now, after you've done that, so after you've done that initial trim right in the top, okay, I want you to make a part. Take that hair in the top, part it in half. Pull the hair back up. And now, because this part of my hair is a different length from this part, so I want to make sure that I got it trimmed properly. So I'm going to pull it straight back up. Pull it all the way out, and then I'm going to trim again. Okay. After you've done that, you bring this first section forward like this. All right. And then you're going to come in and make sure that that hair is even. Don't do this. Don't do this. Because if you do that, then you're going to probably cut off too much hair. So pull the hair out, similar to this. All right. And come all the way down to the bottom and trim. All right. So we got that first section. That's done. And tuck it away. All right. So we got that done. Now we're going to go over to the side. Take your clip out. So when it comes to hair shape, some of us have layers. So with people who have layers like me, my hair is not even from the top to the bottom. So I'm going to show you two different ways to trim your hair, which you will use contingent upon the shape of your hair. Now, two ways. The first way, on the side, small sections. You're going to take a small section of hair, do a horizontal part, and then you're going to take your hair, pull it down, stretch it down, all the way down. Notice I'm using these two fingers, and I'm coming all the way down to the bottom. If you look closely, the part of the hair that needs to be trimmed, let me pull it out. There we go. It's not a lot because I get my ends trimmed pretty regularly. You can see how it's kind of frayed at the bottom. That's what needs to be trimmed off. So you're going to take the hair, pull it all the way down. I think my scissors have grown legs and walked away. Let me find them. Oh, here they go. Okay, here we go. I found them. They didn't get too far. Okay, take a small piece of hair, Come all the way down till you get to the very bottom. You see that? That's what needs to be trimmed. And you're going to hold your scissors horizontally and you're going to trim. Now, again, do not trim past your knuckle. Don't trim in here because you're going to cut yourself. You're just trimming right up into your knuckle. Now you're going to come to another section, make another part, do the very same thing, come all the way to the bottom, and you're doing it horizontally. Okay? Just trimmed off a little bit. Now, the other way to do it, because in here, this is when my hair starts to layer. It's not the same length. Now you're going to take the hair. So you've already trimmed this. You're going to take this hair and you're going to trim it at an angle. So as opposed to trimming it straight across, you're going to trim it more vertically. Okay, so you're going to take the hair, stretch it out. Can you see what needs to be trimmed? Not a lot. Take your scissors. Now bear with me because I'm trying to do this in a phone. All right, see that? Horizontally. Excuse me, vertically. Don't trim past your knuckle. All right, that was it. We are headed to the back. So take out your first section in the back, comb it down. All right. Now what I'm going to do, what I was saying, you can do two different types of trims. You can take this whole section, because it's not really thick. If your hair is super thick, you may need to split it in half, but you're going to bring this hair straight down. And the first thing you're going to do, you're going to trim it straight across, right at the very bottom, the very tip. Can you see what needs to be trimmed? So what needs to be trimmed is just a tiny bit. So I'm bringing it straight down. And remember, the back of my hair is parted with the part down the middle. So this is one section of hair. I'm bringing it straight down, all the way down. And then I'm just going to trim the bottom. Okay? Not a lot. Can you see that? Not a lot. All right, now, because my hair is layered, now it's time for me to put a little more layers or start trimming my hair at an angle. If you do not have layers, then you can continue to bring your hair down straight and gradually trim it straight across or horizontally. I'm layered, so I can't do that because my hair is not cut like that. My hair, this is shorter, then it gets longer and longer and longer. So I'll be cutting it at an angle. When you cut or trim your hair at an angle, it does give you volume. So I'm gonna take this section that I just trimmed and I'm sectioning it off. Okay, so now that this section has been trimmed and it's clipped off, we're gonna trim the rest of it on this side. All right, so we're gonna move in here. I'm gonna take this section out, comb it through. I'm gonna make a small part like that. Take the remaining hair, clip it off. All right, so this section that I just combed through, combing it down. Now we're gonna trim it vertically. All right, so looking at the hair, come all the way down. Can you see how my hand is going up and down as opposed to straight across? Like so. All right, let's do that again. This hair is shorter than this piece because again, it's layered. So you want to be mindful of that when you're trimming it. So this is the shortest piece of hair, and we're gonna trim off this. Trim. There we go. See that? All right, and this is what we're gonna do in this entire section. So that has been trimmed. After you trim it, tuck it away. All right, that's been trimmed. So we're gonna come back up in here, take another small piece of hair, section it off, comb it through, bring the hair all the way out. Okay, can you see that? See those ends? Stretch it all the way out and then trim. Okay, not much. The ends feel amazing. It's not a lot. Take the hair, pull it all the way out. Okay. See, I am trimming at that angle. So this side is done. We're going to put it in a twist, clip it off, and we're going to roll to the next section. The next thing you do, comb it all out, and we're going to do a few things. But the first thing we're going to do, we're going to go in and we're going to get the hairline. So a lot of times your hairline might be shorter. My hairline is shorter, again, because I have a hair loss disorder that I am managing, and managing it very well, actually. Section the hairline off and trim the hair right in the front. You want to make sure you trim all of your hair strands as much as possible. Now this is just a tiny bit. That's the hair that's actually growing back, y'all. At some point my edges were bald, but I have hair. All right, so make sure you get your hairline and make sure you get the nape too. So the hair in the back here, this is usually short too. So section that off and make sure you come in and trim this as well. Hair in my ends feel great. My hair is it's looking a little puffy because I'm hot and I'm sweating a little bit, but the ends feel great. Okay, so now that you've trimmed your hairline, you've trimmed all the shorter hair, then just kind of come in and check your trim. So just take large sections. So whereas before you did big sections, or excuse me, you did small sections, you're going to take large sections. Just pull the hair out and check it. Pull it straight and see if there's anything else that you need to trim. Like right in here, it's not a lot, but okay, trim that. And then go to another section. Take a large section, like so. a large section, comb it all out, and just come in and check those ends. Come all the way down and check them. All done. Ends look great. As you can tell, I did not have to trim off a lot because I trim my ends regularly. And again, if you trim them regularly, you only have to trim off a little teeny bit. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It was not a very easy video for me to do, trying to trim my ends looking in the cell phone, but I hope you picked up on some basic techniques that you can do yourself and give yourself a fabulous trim in your bathroom. All right, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. And until we talk again, stay fabulous.